Welcome back, fellow armchair generals, to another episode of Hearts of Iron 4 with BlackICE, or Hearts of Iron 4. Playing two versions of BlackICE, it's interesting. Okay, once at that, let's keep rolling forward. I really like these new operational radiuses for the air units, the radars, and Aerodog is complaining about closing of the Winter Olympics. Well, okay, so we have the Kriegsmarine. Might as well see about organizing it up, and we'll put it under a reader, and we will put that ship up there with that. Okay, good. So that is now a little bit better. These are okay. Okay. Here we have the Baltic fleet. Let's see. Marshall. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so we're going to create 3 infantry divisions. We'll show up at Cologne, I notice. It'll be over here.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Where's that in the production queue? No. Okay, not quite sure. Where, what, when?
Bereit.
Okay, well. Looking for somebody that's disorganized.
Zuhören.
See if we actually got the new units.
Bereit. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Zuhören.
I don't know if that's new or not. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe I should have read that more carefully. Now we've got more political power here. I think it's important for multiple reasons to get this next. There are good reasons for getting many of the other ones, but I like this because of the Army experience gain daily and land doctrine once we start researching boost time. So we will accumulate more than this so that we'll have some of this once. Oh, and Michael and electronic engineering are all ready. Yeah, you know, improving the units at the start of the war. still not. So, okay, 100 and some days. So let's find some techs that are maybe less than 100 days that are useful to us. 200. 160 in the running. 60 there. These will be longer. Yeah, 366. So we don't want to pick one of those. There we go. I know we don't have any of the aircraft bonuses picked right now. But these will be limited early productions, and when we get up to... Okay, well they must have... His army has gotten bigger. Okay, Kriegsmarine. Now we... April 26, so we're gonna wait a few days there. That did well, okay. No, I don't want to move them just to the top because of the oil and other elements. Let's move you down. Okay, so fix out that one can, and then there. And then you. Think that's good. Not gonna upgrade that yet. I know I can. But let's produce the older model more efficiently for a while. Most of the outdated equipment are ship types. Oh, well, we're already past the date. So fortunately it does sort of, well, not that much. We're gonna go with 4-year plan. I think we'll lose one of those two guys, or maybe both, I don't know. Well, yeah. I want to place a couple more. 3 more, I guess. Divisions training. Do you guys like teasers, or... I'm talking spoilers, I'm talking teasers. Or would you rather wait? Or are teasers maddening? Please comment below. Oh, got more military or political power. Okay, liability, range, agility. That's sort of my go-to. Wish these are cheaper and I could swap them around more easily. Or just make big super companies that just put in charge and have all of them infantry equipment. Okay. Oh. Disaster nearly struck when the aircraft of Walther, Chief of Staff of the Luftwaffe, crashed. Okay, so yes, they've implemented. So they still showed his funeral. He survived this time. Okay. Well, that's neat of them. Give him a chance of surviving. See, now I think since we had it active, don't need to have it active the full time. Well, I don't know. Still not sure how BlackICE works. If it needs to be constantly active, and if you switch them around, I don't know, because that's how it was for a while. But normally, if you just have it active when it's completed, under normal circumstances, you get the company bonus. Okay, well, I'm not switching any aircraft over right now. We'll produce outdated models for a while until we get to somewhere a little better. We'll make the jump. Some days, so we get industries. We're ready to. Well, submarines. Okay, there we go. Improve torpedoes from medium range submarines. Okay. Okay, that's good. But now that we've got a few extra there, what we're gonna do here is 24/7. Now. See, ooh, Romania. Okay, well, let's just do 16. And that's good for that. And let's trade with the Netherlands. I like the way how they kept some. Like this. Now let's go take a look over there. Okay, well, so they've kept this United Kingdom. That was changed to Malaya so that Australia could do fortress building and things like that. But I like how they've split it between the Netherlands and Dutch East Indies. I get the idea of having. Well, it's really effing difficult, I guess, for them to make an AI that will defend Indonesia or Dutch Indonesia without scripting it heavily, and that's their thing is they want a smart AI. I say great if you can make a smart AI, great. But since you can't, let's script it. But they flatly are refusing to go to too much scripting. like script the Dutch AI to park a division in Batavia and park a division here, that kind of thing. They just don't want to do that. They could script the AI, I'm sure. What by doing this is allows the Netherlands to collect some of the resources directly, which will then allow European powers, particularly Germany, to buy straight from the Netherlands instead of buying from the Dutch East Indies and have to ship it all that way through German shipping. So I like the compromise. Well, we're working on our needs. We need mountain artillery. Okay, well, the rest it looks like we're producing more than we're needing. Well, coastal could use a little bit. Mountain equipment could use some. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Equipment, good. Do that as well. See about one more factory importing oil. Let's go with Iran. Schmeling KOs Lewis, knocks out Lewis. Okay, 4-year plan. Yes, no, we want that. It's actually a reasonably nice picture there. Okay, and then we're going to do this, which will get us a lot more resources. Maybe a lot more oil, too. Still no Spanish Civil War, but I don't know. There we go. Okay, now let's see what we can do here. Okay, we want to send volunteers. Maximum 2 divisions. Okay, so back. I think we're going to do 2 armored divisions. Well, no, with the...
Alright.
Put you in a new theater.
Achtung!
And just some of the street fighting cities, mountains. No, I don't want you.
Bereit!
I want it there actually. Let's use, since you have them here somewhere, on Thoma. The historical one. Normally I just use Guderian, but we'll do Von Thoma as commander. And automatically Spain. Send volunteers. 2 divisions. We are with Von Thoma. Send. That will generate a little bit of army experience, but in a real sense probably practically nothing, but still. to 6 days. And since we're getting ready to do a lot of industrial type research, I think we will do CRIP. Next. Priority. Turkish Straits questions. The zone around the Straits of the Bosphorus and Dardanelles have been demilitarized by the Lucerne Treaty. Yet this important region may fall into wrong hands in its current state. It is better to let the Turks have full sovereignty there. I guess the wrong hands of the Soviets is why the picture's there. Okay, guess we can only agree. Okay, construction industry goes first. So now we have that. There we go. Those will go a little bit quicker. And, well, let's do tank factories. Cube communications equipment, which allows for this. Okay. We'll use taken Ethiopia. Took them a long time. Ah, Summer Olympic Games. For some reason that looks like it was Japan, but I don't know. There's a bunch of color photos of the Summer Olympics. Why didn't you just use some of that? Well, the better stuff is in black and white, partially because Leni Riefenstahl photographed some of that, or responsible for the photograph of it. Yeah, we'll go for these. I don't know if they really help or hurt or whatever. And whatever you may think of Leni Riefenstahl, her visual sense is excellent. Goebbels and her didn't quite get along. Triumph of the Will is a Goebbels, I didn't like it. It was a bit too blatant of propaganda. Goebbels is a subtle propagandist. He doesn't, you see the sort of the anti-Jewish movies and whatnot that they sometimes show, and they often, several times I've seen those associated with Goebbels, of the Jew looking typical Jewish, big nose type things. Now, a lot of Jews, most Jews don't have big noses like that, but they are a trait that some associate with them, and these kinds of stuff. Well, Goebbels hated that stuff. He was always really subtle, didn't really do anti-Jewish propaganda in his movies. It was always sort of, if you've seen the scenes in Titanic, the Nazi Titanic that was never completed, it's a very anti-capitalist message. It's little bit anti-English, I would say. They put in a German officer on the Titanic who's it's a civil, as part of the Titanic crew or something, and he's serving to make it more palatable to the because it was made during the war, to the German audience, as sort of the German viewpoint. And it's not that the English are evil or something, but the fault of the Titanic sinking is because of English capitalist greed, that it's a capitalist country, and these the companies are all just about capitalist greed and shortcuts and things like this, which is the furthest thing from the truth. The lack of the lifeboats, that was just, I don't know, god awful bad planning. It wasn't really a greed
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
situation. If you look at the
Ausrücken. Bereit.
the money spent on the Titanic, having more lifeboats would have been almost immaterial to the cost, and it just bad planning,
Ihre Befehle.
shall we say, or whatever you want to call it, for that. And so they create several other sort of erroneous problems and whatever, but it's down to anti-capitalism. And so it's not everything is positive, but it was an anti-capitalist message. And so Goebbels is very subtle in his propaganda, and talks subtly about, in some movies, sort of foreign influences, not, at least for the most part, that I'm thinking of, things that he approved of, mention Jews. It's just foreign or whatever. And people, obviously, with all the other propaganda, with a lot of the other propaganda going on, they sort of understand that to mean Jewish, but it's sort of subtle in the movie. Where Leni Riefenstahl is doesn't, in my remembrance of it, ever make any anti-Jewish stuff, but it's Triumph of the Will is over the top, National Socialism. If you've watched it, it's been a long time since I've really watched the full thing. I first saw it in film studies class. It's been a few, just a few. I mean, I've watched it since I started modding Hearts of Iron. I watched Olympia, which is her really good, and I would say rather fair treatment of the other ethnic groups in the Olympics. Movie on the Olympics, and that's really good. And she has a really great sense of style. But she seemed to be happy to work for the Nazis. So, no qualms, no apparent concerns about working for them. So, take that what you will. We are going to build a few additional military factories, and then we'll get back to more civil factories. Okay, now we're going to slow down our gameplay. No, damn it, slow, I said, because we now have forces in Spain.
Angetreten. Zuhören.
No, actually,
Ausrücken.
we're gonna isolate Bilbao.
Achtung.
You're gonna attack with the infantry into the city in case there's somebody there to fight. There's a garrison. And we'll bring in the armor to support when needed. Okay, big red peas are partisans. Okay, I'm gonna, I don't know, bitch and moan a little bit. Somebody's color sense on BlackICE and needs work. Because you got all these nice soft tones. I like the militia soft tones that we're using. The flags really short, but that just stands out. And I've noticed some of the other graphics. The quality of the graphics often are apparently excellently well done, but I don't know, bright and clashing might be the term I use for some of its visual sense.
Befehle. Ausrücken!
You've abandoned Bilboa, so we're going to take it. Okay, great industrial effort. That's only 28 days, so we're going to do the Reich Autobahn 1936. Basically, the Autobahn expansion ended in 36. With any new major stuff. At least that's my recollection. Okay. Now we cut off those guys.
Ihre Befehle? Angetreten.
Put them on the flank there. So I'm not complaining. Well, it's just my sort of visual sense. I think red's fine as a color for the partisan. Just that bright flashing red is sort of what I'm bemoaning. Sorry if it doesn't matter to you.
Alright.
It's just something that doesn't matter to you. Now let's head over here, actually.
Ausrücken! Alright.
Do this.
Ausrücken!
And I guess, you know, I look at so much of the work that I do with the modding, and like that's wonderful. Okay, it's a modern color photograph, I'm pretty sure, of maybe like a historical recreation. I don't specifically recognize it, like where it is from, but it's a nice map table. It's all the colors are nice. It flows very nicely into the background used for the event. That to me is top notch. That is, compared to some of those colorized stuff. Now I know some of the colorized stuff, I'm presuming because I haven't seen it before, they've done, you know, whoever's doing the work for BlackICE. Some of the stuff that I've seen in other places that other people done to me just look god awful. And I've used some colorized stuff, but I used to argue with my granddad. We both loved old movies. He loved his, because he saw them, of course. He loved movies when they were new, the old ones, and saw them originally in black and white. He loved that they were colorized. To me, I hated that they were colorized because it just, to me, always looked ugly, but done poorly, and not needed. But he loved them, thought they were better for being color. That's sort of like a lot of these colorized things. I'd rather have the stuff that you've seen for, you know, flip over to my other current series. You'll see a lot of, including a lot of stuff who worked on the BlackICE events. Use a nice black and white photo. If they have it, put a color unit symbol or badge or whatever as part of it. That's fine. If there's a color photo, because there's a lot of those on the, you know, the other BlackICE series, Hearts of Iron 3. Yes, I'm plugging my other series. There's a lot of wonderful graphic images there. I don't know why they haven't imported them. That are color, you know, nice period color photos. Use those. It's great, but just, you know, get a good sense of it. But see, I judge everything because I build for it. So I guess I'm maybe a bit more judgmental as to what I would do, or what along those kind of lines. Okay.
Befehle? Alright.
Okay, well, we're going to move on. Well, we're going to let them abandon Madrid. And then we're going to move on Madrid. Oh, didn't get there fast enough. Okay, we're going to stop our attack.
Los, ausrücken! Ausrücken!
Cross the river. We'll help out these
Ausrücken!
mounted partisans. Getting them a link.
Ausrücken!
Oh, yes, didn't help them enough.
Zuhören. Bereit. Ausrücken.
So since I sort of do look at this professionally, may or may not be the right term, but as a how would I do it? It shows up to be more of a significant thing for me, I guess. Well, let's take a look at some of these. Foreign investors bans. See, if we were to do this. Okay, so national unity plus 8 and political power gain plus 15%. Factory output down by 4 and dockyard output down by 4. Construction speed and all that down by 4%. National unity down by 3. But now we're moving to a positive. I like that. We're going to go for that.
Achtung. Ausrücken.
Wrong. Go there, then to there.
Achtung.
Okay, so what I want to do is just to see, are these come onto the map? Okay, manpower. Where do we have? We're producing enough of vehicles, more production vehicles. I'm sure there's a stats thing around here somewhere, though I haven't. Oh, there we are. Okay. So, okay, 33. Let's see if we can. Okay, 37. Okay, good. So we got that increase. That's good. That's what I was hoping to have happen. Okay, now let's look at our economy. We're importing too much oil because we had that oil. Well, hold it. No. Let's see if we're producing. We need to produce more artillery pieces. Some of those we're having losses in Spain, but we need to produce off-road cars, and we'll massively one of those. This is the off-road cars. Now, do we have any in production? Trucks? Armored car? More artillery truck. Okay, here we are, the stower. Okay. Let's put a bit more into that. we are going to be getting, I think it's 2 more? 3 more. Now, let's look at other stuff that we're not producing enough with. Mortar teams. We have a lot in reserve. We have a lot in reserve. That's just because we're using up some over in Spain right now. Okay, it's artillery. We need, so we'll do that for the next factories coming. Want to get some of those guys in production very soon though too.
Befehle!
You attack that. Alright, on. Okay, now. Solution 36. Wow, that's early. We're gonna let that go for the moment. There's reasons to take it and there's reasons not to. The reason not to is hopefully it's continuing to develop its industry. Junkers fuel bad folks. Okay, 35 days. Gain a research slot. Yes, we're going to do that. I don't even have to think about it. For 35 days, get another research slot? Yes.
Zuhören!
Yeah, it looks like they're not defending Madrid again, so we will see about moving that one.
Ihre Befehle?
I'm surprised that the AI is playing this bad here. Okay, I know what it is. I've got it. I've been playing a lot of BlackICE. Oh no, sorry, wrong. I've been playing lots of Hearts of Iron 4. One of the reasons I waited for this to come out, one, for the longevity of this series, because if I started out with doing basically this version of BlackICE for Hearts of Iron 1.4, and then they changed it to 1.41, and then what version do I have on my main system and all of that stuff, and I figured that this, and I'm going to make a copy of this over another directory in case they upgrade it halfway through this series. We can keep playing this version. That's a key out there, is if you can, it doesn't take a lot of work, but you can go in and you can copy the files, create a new little MOD file, the little sort of thing that points to the thing, call it BlackICE Alpha, or BlackICE Let's Play series, or whatever I may end up calling it that way, to click on that so that when your save games will be compatible, so that when it auto updates to the new version, you still got the old version to finish out your game. Okay, so now I know Podcat, the lead developer on Hearts of Iron 4, has really went in and tinkered around with the Spanish Civil War. I know that this was delayed because of the Spanish Civil War problem, and I never asked before he went on vacation, so I don't know what he did or what somebody did between 1.4 and 1.41 to cause that would cause the desktop crash. But I knew what he was tinkering on before, And they obviously don't have militia specific units. But what he did was is he went in and tinkered with the AI so that it would build a lot of brigade-sized divisions instead of 3 brigades. No. Yeah, maybe sort of like, let's see what these. Oh no, I didn't want to train one of those. Sorry. Okay, kill this. Learn to look at this. Edit. Okay, well no, maybe a little better than that. But basically just one column of these. They obviously don't have all these support units. And in fact that's quite realistic in the sense that Spanish divisions may very well have been this size, but often because of the scale of the war, you'd have one brigade deployed here and one brigade deployed over here, and then maybe the 3rd brigade deployed over here of a division, all under the same divisional commander. But obviously the way this is set up, you can't have a division occupying more than one province at a time. So he went in and tweaked Spain so that it had a lot more units. Won't get into saying much more than that, but so that the Spanish Civil War lasts longer. What is happening here is, since I don't think, and there's a whole lot of militia units here on the nationalist side, a lot more than the Republican side. So what I think here is looks like 3 brigades, but is that the AI does not have enough the Republican AI does not have enough units. Now I don't know why the aggression level here is being so low against an empty province, and the reason it's coming out over here is it's seeing the AI, the Republican AI, is seeing this as a pocket, and it's getting its units out of the pocket because it doesn't want to be pocketed. And so that's why this is happening. I've often noticed it playing Germany here. Once Germany gets Austria, and if you put units all along here, and mostly the AI is fine with it, and we'll just guard this border too. But once you get to Sudetenland here with this, and then you get this bit over here, it starts seeing this as a pocket up here. So it shifts most all of its divisions down here, and maybe leaves one division here and one division here. Now, since most people doesn't really matter, because mostly the AI checks will just fold and not have a battle, so it doesn't really matter. But that's what it's doing. And so long before Hearts of Iron 4 was ever released, I was advocating, instead of as dynamic as we're seeing now of an AI, let's have a bunch of scripted battle plans. And they rejected that. And I thought that, and make an editor. So, well, because they want replay. One of the main tenets, and it's not the developers, I mean, I think they agree, but this is a main tenet of Paradox programs, is replayability. So they don't want you to know what the Polish defense is going to be, and oh, well, I know how to defeat that because it's going to do X, always the same. So, figure out how to defeat it. And so you lose the replayability. Now, of course, we're having the sort of unplayability to some degree. It's not truly unplayable, but the lack of fun is that not a challenging opponent in the AI. My thought is open source the scripts. So, do conditions. Okay, you're only at war with Germany, and these, where does Belgium put its forces? Okay. And then you can do, well, what if the Netherlands are either occupied by Germany or the Netherlands are in the Axis? And you can, create defensive or offensive scripts, and you can create all this stuff and then weight them. And then the AI you can do that is have, script X has a weight of 30. Scripts A, B, and C all have a weight of 2. Most of the time it's going to pick script X because it's 30, and the other ones of 2 are just going to be, once in a blue moon type picked. For the scenario that meets the current conditions, meaning historical condition. Germany's here. Oh, well, Belgium's not so stupid. They're going to at least put a couple of divisions or something trying to hold out, for a German push through Luxembourg. But the main force is going to be here. Or maybe, hey, we're going to give up all of this part of Belgium and just go back and hold the Liège line along the river, and we're going to hold in the north here. They may, just whatever it is, the standard, and make it so that, and people can do it, and you can have a bunch of them. So you may have 4 scripts all have the weight of 30, so they would all have equal chance of showing up, and a few oddball, rare chances of something happen to show up, so that they could do that. That's easy to do. A little more difficult to sort of set conditions and, fallback lines and all kinds of stuff for Russia, but that was my thought on it. So, but they haven't done, they're still hoping for intelligence, shall we say. Well, the pocketing thing is a bit of a problem, especially when your greatest industrial areas and your capital and your primary victory points are in the pocket, which should be defended and allowed all the rest of it just go. If you can't hold it well enough, that's the unimportant part. So that's what I think the AI is seeing this as a pocket, and for some reason the current script of the Spanish Civil War doesn't give the Republicans enough
Ausrücken!
Republican
Ausrücken!
military units. So no, I've been watching a lot of AI versus AI without Germany coming into it. And the Spanish Civil War has been happening very historical when the AI has been fighting the AI. Meaning taking 2 or 3 years, from 36 to 38, 39, and looking pretty good, I would say. Now you can come in and, bring in some panzer divisions, start tilting the balance, and win the war in 6 months.
Ihre Befehle?
That's about all it really seems to take, is 6 months to, if you bring in 2 or 3 divisions.
Befehle!
Okay, well, those are the main ones there I wanted to do. We are at war, and we do have Guderian for some research bonuses, so we'll start doing some tactical improvements. Operational improvements, I don't know, whatever you want to consider those to be.
Ihre Befehle?
Well, let's clean
Ausrücken!
up this pocket. For the AI. I have noted a few other YouTubers. I think Benjamin Maggie.
Ausrücken!
I forget who exactly. Have been playing both Hearts of Iron 3 and Hearts of Iron 4 recently.
Ausrücken!
So I'm not the only one, but I am one of the few who actively plays
Ausrücken!
multiple versions. Oh, no, stop. Go this way. because some of the devs have also, oh, you're just remembering, looking at the past through rose-colored glasses of Hearts of Iron 3 or something like that. And I'm going, no, I'm playing both. It's, and sometimes literally I'll play 2 or 3 versions within the same 24-hour period. I might sleep in between them, but within, between a BlackICE,
Ausrücken!
a more standard version of Hearts of Iron 4, and then a so okay, good. We'll create those. We like that. Oh, I forgot to do that. Shoot. I did not increase the production of. Let's take a look at that. Okay. We've got a lot of those. So reduce production there. What are we doing for field units? Okay, we've got quite a bit there, so we're going to reduce it. We've got lots of. Okay. So, let's reduce that. Just a moment. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then what I want to do here is we're going to go to the top. So I want too close to get. Oh, shit, hold down shift to get it up to the top. Let's start a production of I want to start producing Panzer IIIs, and I want to start producing so let's move both of these to the top so they get the resources. I just want them to have higher oil resources, particularly than ships. Oh shoot, we're back to, oh damn, I didn't do that well enough. Okay, I'd just rather have them concentrate on a few of these things. Get them done faster once. Some of these happen. Move you down, and then concentrate on the hypocons there.
Zuhören!
Yeah, we're going to take this opportunity to end this episode. I want to thank you so much for watching. I want to thank you for liking the videos. I really do appreciate that. Of course, tell a friend about the series, about the channel, about something. I'd love to have more viewers, subscribers. And of course, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. And of course, the big thing is I want to hear comments from you, ideas, suggestions. Tell me where I'm wrong, where I'm right. Love that. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.